Yes, it's December, and for many, it's about celebrating all the good things about the season. But in the midst of it all is a day set aside to recognize a significant piece of our natural landscape, our mountains. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkins, and welcome to another day with more stories and news to share from your Jamaica Magazine. Today is being recognized as International Mountain Day. Mountains provide home to a significant portion of the world's animals and lands. But unfortunately, today, mountains are under threat from climate change and overexploitation. Do stay with us as we share more about the international observation and why mountains are important to our lives.
Protect yourself from the flu virus. Visit your nearest health center or doctor to get the flu vaccine. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water or by using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid the spread of germs by not touching your eyes, mouth, or nose. And be sure to regularly disinfect surfaces and objects that are used often. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, December 11. Social events will now go up to 2 a.m. during the week and 4 a.m. on weekends during the Christmas season. The temporary amendment to the Noise Abatement Act was approved in the House of Representatives Tuesday. Under the Act, public gatherings such as parties, meetings, and church events usually have a 12 a.m. cutoff time during the week and a 2 a.m. lockoff on weekends.
This bill is a response to the call from the entertainment industry, the practitioners, community associates, and residents for there to be a review of the amendment of the current Noise Abatement Act. This bill, therefore, Mr. Speaker, represents a temporary solution to ensure that we are providing an environment in which accommodates those social needs of our people, whether music, church, or political events, while preserving the right to non-disturbance and peaceful rest for residents in its application.
The National Security Minister was speaking during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives. The bill will now go to the Senate for its approval. And still in Parliament Tuesday, the House granted a one-month extension of the states of emergency and the zones of special operations in effect for several parishes. States of emergency in Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Clarendon, St. Catherine, and St. Andrew South have been extended until February 2020. The zones of special operations in effect for Mount Salem, St. James, and Denham Town in Kingston have also been lengthened to February 2020. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the extension was necessary to continue ongoing social intervention and programs to curtail criminal activity in the zones. He says 22 interventions benefiting over 8,000 residents have been completed in Denham Town. As for Mount Salem, over $180 million in roadworks and community improvement projects have been committed. Dr. Chang says these and other interventions are helping to reduce crime in the areas and should be continued to cement their success.
The rampant criminality, in particular violent crimes, as well as the threat posed by guns, guns, and gangs, have fueled an ecosystem of crime which is well-resourced and interconnected. Mr. Speaker, these have collectively necessitated security measures beyond the ambit of normal policing. The state of public emergency in these parishes are therefore necessary at this time as the conditions underlying the emergency continue to exist in these parishes.
In other news, Jamaica has improved its ranking on the United Nations Human Development Index HDI report for 2019. The country placed 96 out of 189 countries and territories, one place higher than in 2018. As a country in the upper human development category, Jamaica ranks high in the globally accepted standard for assessing development progress. Among the categories are life expectancy, schooling, equality, and standard of living. Released Monday, the report shows that the island is registering progress, increasing its human development index in key areas between 1990 and 2018. The National School Feeding Program will be expanded in the 2020 academic year to provide students with healthier meal options. Agriculture Minister Audley Shaw says the program will be rolled out in partnership with the Ministries of Health and Education, as well as the Food and Agriculture Organization. Minister Shaw asserts that more local ground provisions and fruits will be made available to schools, cutting out alternatives with high sugar content.
We'll create better nutrition for our children, while creating wealth among our small farmers.
Minister Shaw was speaking at the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries quarterly press briefing recently. Minister without portfolio J.C. Hutchinson says the pilot breakfast program, which was implemented in Northwest St. Elizabeth, will also be enhanced in 2020. He says schools in the area will be supplied with yam, Irish potato, cucumber, and other raw materials from the farm at Holland. The National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, is to ramp up its bulky waste removal program. The program, which will continue throughout the Christmas season, is being conducted in town centers and capitals across the country. The authority just concluded a previous phase of the program in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness under the National Enhanced Dengue Intervention Program. That initiative was done at a cost of over $167 million. NSWMA's Executive Director Audley Gordon says the bulky waste removal has to be continued to clean up Jamaica.
All these old cans, old pans, old fridge, old TV, old settee, all those old bulky stuff that we throw out at will, they are the source of dengue.
Mr. Gordon says the regular garbage collection program will continue alongside the bulky waste removal program. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Mosquitoes can spread diseases such as dengue fever. Common symptoms of dengue include fever, severe headache, pain behind the eyes, muscle pain, joint pain, skin rash, nausea, and vomiting. If you feel you have dengue fever, visit your doctor or health center, rest, drink lots of fluids, use only paracetamol for pain. Do not take aspirin or other painkillers. Protect yourself from dengue and other mosquito-borne diseases. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Here's one thing that perfectly characterizes Jamaica, the Blue Mountain. Among other things, government recognizes its importance to providing a home for plants such as the much-loved coffee, and even its link to tourism. To showcase its offerings, government has created a trail from down low to the mountain above. Here's the Jamaica Blue Mountain Culinary Trail.
Imagine a tour on which you'll eat till you're full, dining against the backdrop of the blue hues of the mountains, sipping authentic Blue Mountain coffee. Sounds appealing? Then you must, if only once, venture on the Jamaica Blue Mountain Culinary Trail. The Ministry of Tourism has embarked on a gastronomic mission to promote Jamaica as a culinary destination. This is the main aim of the Gastronomy Network, one of 5 networks established recently by the ministry. The first product of the Gastronomy Network was the implementation of the Jamaica Blue Mountain Culinary Trail. This is a tour of eateries and attractions nestled within the UNESCO-designated World Heritage Site of Jamaica's Blue Mountains. Whether you take the Eastern or Western Trail, you'll have access to at least 15 participating venues.
Gastronomy, or food tourism, as people commonly refer to it across the world, represents 88% of the reason that people travel. Therefore, will be responsive to the palates of the world. What we have to do is to prepare it a little differently, present it a little more appealing, and to move it from basic street food to the highest level of gourmet.
Wet the palate with hors d'oeuvres, dip into Strawberry Hill Restaurant's coffee ice cream, or drink coffee at a more than a century-old farm.
From Colombia, we also say Colombia's coffee is really good and we're really proud about it. So it was really interesting to hear the Jamaican perspective of their own coffee. The coffee was delicious and it's really amazing to be able to have a cup of coffee, look into the mountains and just like enjoy. So the coffee was definitely the highlight for me today.
Jamaicans talk about how great our coffee is, but I don't think we have any idea why. And that's what I learned today. It was phenomenal.
Vegetarians, meat lovers, those into traditional cuisine, or Jamaican fusion meals, there's a bite for every appetite. The Jamaica Blue Mountain Culinary Trail provides a getaway for nature buffs and foodies, wrapped up in one journey. The tour stops at about 4 restaurants, each boasting a historic or cultural backdrop. After dining, there lies an opportunity to walk off the food with the Accompong Maroon drummers.
Our aim is to preserve the integrity and uniqueness of the region. The beauty, diversity, and sheer magnificence of the region is unparalleled.
The Ministry of Tourism has identified gastronomy tourism as a medium for diversifying destination Jamaica. Through the Tourism Linkages Network, the Gastronomy Network is offering locals and visitors a tasty treat of the Jamaica Blue Mountains. To plan your own food trail inside the mountains, contact the Gastronomy Network. They're located at the Jamaica Tourism Center, 64 Knutsford Boulevard, New Kingston, or call them at 920-4926-30.
It's always beautiful in Jamaica. Everything usually be green and pretty. We have beautiful water. Temperature that is normal temperature. The water never cold. We've been into business for about 13 years. JUSC-COOL. Just cool. It's spelled with 3 0. We make 3 different types of pudding. We make potato, we make cornmeal, and we make total. This is the cornmeal, okay? That's actually almost the last process. What he's gonna do now, he's gonna put a gel on top. Within no time, we have to take it off because the gel give it a nice taste. We have the people like Shelley and Fraser came here. We have, you could name the biggest artists, Shabba Ranks, name them all. Being the Man, they all come here and buy their pudding. This is what we grew up on. Now, when the people come to Jamaica, everybody, as soon as they land off the plane, this is where they come. They want to taste this pudding because it brings them back to the old days. The long time days when they was kids growing up and they used to sit on the fire and watch their mama, their grandmother bake the pudding. We try not to change off our roots, we try to keep it that way. And not only that, we have a lot of love because we're all about love.
Cliffs are easier to climb than mountains. Of course, they are not as high, but like a mountain, a cliff usually has a summit, which is the highest point. Here's the story behind one historic cliff in Jamaica. While you're at it, check out some other places that you could possibly visit this Christmas.
It's one of the oldest parishes in the island that might have been originally named after Thomas Hickman Lord Windsor, the then governor of Jamaica in 1662. Seated in a right angle, bordered by the spellbinding St. Andrew on the west, the picturesque Portland on the north, and then gently washed by the waves of the Caribbean Sea.
Bienvenido a St. Thomas.
Welcome to St. Thomas.
Full place. St. Thomas, we're there.
St. Thomas today now. Welcome to St. Thomas.
However you put it, we're there, St. Thomas. Join us on this travelogue. We'll be moving throughout the creases and corners of this beauty, turning the pages of our local history book, in which you will see the old Borden Wharf, Judgment Cliff, Roselle Waterfall, and other places. The cliff high above the Landaway community in St. Thomas at first glimpse appears to be just like any other overlooking the parish. But take a second look and you'll notice that a section of it is completely gone. Known as Judgment Cliff, it got its name from a story of how an entire community was wiped out during the 1692 earthquake. It's a story that passed through generations in the community and one that residents readily recount to passerbys like myself.
Judgment Cliff, I was informed that they used to have a plantation up there run by a serious, wicked slave master. Imposed draconian measures on the farmers, and one of the reasons why they resided on the cliff, that in case the slave wanted to run away, they would have difficulty in doing so. The place collapsed. I guess during the same time Port Royal earthquake was taking place. That was 1692.
It was a plantation to people who lived there too. Everybody get covered out. Them say when it happens at night, they say a man, a rooster, and a bull save. The man gone out, gone wild. The rooster fly off of the roost. The bull broke down the pen, gone out, gone wild, same like the man.
We're still set on traveling this allure, blessed indeed by the events of history. Right now, we're headed to a gem up the road on the corner. Tumbling over the rocks onto the roadside is an area known for its pristine waterfalls and fishes. The Roselle waterfall is used for bathing and even for washing by residents or those passing by. It was once a busy area for commerce and entertainment prior to Hurricane Dean in 2007. But despite that, residents still enjoy the untouched water and how it seemingly removes all pains and ills. And from that water that falls, our next stop is a spot where the residents fish.
This fishing area named Lethal Beach, right? When the weather good, we go to sea and fish. When it's bad, we have to stay on the land. Well, we're doing this about some 50 years now, and we do it for a living. So I maintain the family. We have to prepare the net. We buy the net ready make, and we put on the fittings towards it. We put on the lead and the cork and so on. Like what you see it here, you know, we put it in the boat and go out and fish. We catch all type of fish. We catch snapper, we catch parrot, drum, barracuda, doctor fish, all type of different fishes. Sometimes tourists pass and them take pitch down all them kind of thing. And them like when they're knitting in it, sometimes them spend all the day with it. This is my daily living, and that's something I enjoy all my life. I don't know that's work but fishing now.
Back in the days, over Bournemouth, they usually do export a lot of things over there. We even use our small canoe and go over there to fishing through the day. It's just across from the other side of the fishing village.
St. Thomas is a major growing area for food such as banana, coffee, coconut, sugarcane, and even for fishing. It houses one of the island's natural deep water harbors that was once used as a port for exporting these same food items. Now, we couldn't come to St. Thomas and not mention anything about our national hero Paul Bogle or the popular Morant Bay Rebellion.
Yeah, the Morant Bay Rebellion took place at the Morant Bay Courthouse with Paul Bogle and his followers marching from Stonygut to Morant Bay.
Poverty and inequality in the society forced Paul Bogle to lead the protest march to this courthouse on October 11, 1865. In a violent confrontation with official forces, nearly 500 people were killed and more were flogged and punished before order was finally restored. On October 24, 1865, Paul Bogle was arrested and executed at this very same spot of land, the Morant Bay Courthouse. And just like that, we've ended our tour in this natural and material beauty, unfolding the stories behind just a few places. If you haven't been here already, then what are you waiting for?
Did you know that the EU has been doing a lot of work in Jamaica? The EU provided some 23 billion Jamaican dollars to help people living in sugar-dependent areas. This means new houses for sugar estate workers, rehabilitated roads, improved schools, health centers, vocational training, business grants, and a wide range of action to improve the lives of people in sugar-dependent areas.
Life sweeter for true with the EU.
In the same way that our actions impacted the mountains, so too our lives on the law level. Let's take, for instance, littering the streets. But thankfully, through the efforts of the National Solid Waste Management Agency, our streets are being kept a little cleaner.
Once upon a time, in a land far away from a fairy tale, were a people who lived the way you and I do, but a little differently. Much like the shoemaker and the elves, these street fairies don't leave beautiful pairs of shoes behind, but their art shares some similarities, and it's nonetheless worthy of recognition.
Good night, Dana Anderson, shovel user, shovel and jump, clean up Jamaica.
I'm working in the company 8 years now. I like the job, keep the place tidy and clean.
They always say to me, they say, this is not a woman's work, but a woman has to do what a woman has to do, eh? You have to work for yours, eh? Nobody ain't gonna give you nothing, so you have to work for it.
Yeah, enough of the woman they work hard and plenty of the man them. I get used to my work still, so I feel no different from the man them. At the end of the day, I will bread where I work for. So any work for woman. Woman do man work nowadays.
I'm all right with my work. Yeah, I can provide for myself, my nephew, my niece, my child. She don't really like me day out here, you know. She rather me day with she, but I have to make ends meet. I have to work, I have to pay my bills them. But they don't give me nothing, I have to work my own. But people that see me and want to style me and this, because I try to chuck work me do and them things there. But I don't really watch my face. Because I know, say, when my money enough, you see me?
I want to burn fire upon this whole foolishness that people talk from time to time about. If they don't litter, people don't get work.
Yeah, that's what them say some my time. But them can do better still. Plenty of them can do better still.
Enough of them like we, and enough don't like we, because sometimes we have to do with all the truck like all that, so now them don't say, you move from here, say you don't think in truck and them things, but we don't care about that. That's our work.
When you litter, you waste the resource of your country. You make life more difficult for yourself and your fellow men. And you destroy the aesthetic, the beauty of our country that we boast about so much.
We are cleaning up Jamaica. And without cleaning up not Jamaica, wiper, disease and germs are broke out. So everybody who work with solid waste, important people them. All are important.
Differently from the sweeper them, we don't like the garbage bag up and we go through the more easier way. More time we come out and have to wait on the sweeper them like on the just eat right now. We have to wait till the street sweep up, but if it bag up, it's more easier for it.
Just the fact that you are generating solid waste, I ask you to just take some time to package it properly so that it gives us more ease of cleaning. And it also helps the side women. They are human beings too. Their job is already very difficult. Don't make it more difficult for them by giving them extra work to do. it is very tough on them. The job is difficult. You know, it's not just about lifting things, put in a truck, but some of the things they encounter out here. Bags with human feces, that's common occurrence, especially in the market district. The smell of urine is everywhere, and it's in the solid waste that they're picking up. All sort of meat cuttings, fish bone, fish back, fish gut, just about anything that people don't want, and they have to pick it up. They have to face it.
A certain time at the night, when we reach certain hours at the night, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, gunman can all strike and we have to run left the garbage some of the time and all them things there. And come back around and take it up here because we cannot leave it. See me? We cannot leave it. And we don't like them keep Jamaica beauty and clean.
Well, I stay out of them way and I'm not really go for them though. I still think them happen, you know. I just stay by myself, each time I look a corner.
And yet, despite the tough nature of the job, these people show up not just for work, but they show up and work.
We're backbone of the company, you know. Who clean the rubbish and my backbone, we're the most important people in the company. How we clean up work, enough mess and good rubbish, bad rubbish, all different kind of rubbish.
I believe deep in my heart that if you talk about heroes and heroines, our sidemen and sidewomen are right up there with any because of the human service that they provide and in very tough circumstances to keep Jamaica clean. Day after day, night after night, they are out and about, they roll up the sleeve, and notwithstanding all that they have to face, their head is down and they are going relentlessly in pursuit of that clean Jamaica. I laud them. I lift my hat to them. They are good people. I just hope that more and more people will see them for who they are. People who are there to safeguard the health of the nation. They are the NSWMA. Without them, we are nothing.
Yeah, I love my work. I love it. I love clean the shovel.
I read me use a night time
And as sunbeams break the night sky and the stars and moon bid their goodbye, the city smiles.
Our mountains are an important part of Jamaica's natural visual appeal, but their value is more than meets the eye. Mountains influence regional and global weather conditions and climate. Mountains are the sources of both major and small rivers on Earth. Water from mountains can be used to generate hydroelectric power. Mountains cover about 27% of the Earth's land surface. Mountains contribute to food and nutrition security because they have plant and crop diversity. Mountains provide 60 to 80% of the world's fresh water. But with all that, mountains are susceptible to land degradation, climate change, natural disasters, and even deforestation. So here's our plea for you to help preserve our mountains in whatever way you can. It's a simple but important link in helping to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. We sure enjoyed your stay with us today, but if there was any detail that you missed, there's always a way for you to see it all again. Just visit the JIS website or YouTube channel. You can also keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter pages. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.